Hello. Welcome to the daily political tarot and astrology here on the Black and Orange channel. I am here with the wonderful Miss Sarah.
Hello.
And I'm here with you, wonderful you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the whole year of support and kindness that you've all shown to each other and to me. Because you've not only been kind to me, but when I come on and you're being so kind to each other, that really makes my life easier too, and more pleasant and whatnot. So thank you. 10% of my income from everything Black and Orange goes to Feeding America, feedingamerica.org, which supplies food to food banks across the country. I am here 365 days of the year, and I have been for 3.5 years now. Yeah, I'm always here. And next year I will be here for 366 days.
Yes.
If you're watching on replay, hello. You can go down in the description box. All the questions are listed out there. Normally I timestamp them when Miss Sarah is here, who is usually here on Wednesdays, but was kind enough to come on today on my birthday. She's going to be timestamping today, but it's going to be a really relaxing day. And I'm also going to go over some astrology because I want to show you something later on about why it's important to learn some basic astrology and keep an eye on your own chart. Makes things make a whole lot more sense. Plus, I wanted to go over some astrology about why this woman is my bestie. Why things go so well between us. So, Cherry Bomb, thank you. And
You guys are
Bonnie,
so sweet.
Bonnie, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Well, I got one of the best birthday presents you can get. Trump on the stand.
Yes.
Yay!
Real quick.
Yeah.
You usually sing for everybody else. So, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Autumn. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you. Oh,
You're welcome. Joy says I'm everybody's bestie now. Sure.
Thank you, Robin. Robin gifted
so sweet.
Robin gifted members to 5 random people in the chat. Thank you. And Lucky Girl is singing. Thank you. Yes, Joyce Matthews and many more. Yep.
Well, in typical Sarah fashion, I was going to be like, "Go Autumn, it's your birthday party, like it's your birthday." But I was like, "I'll be."
Yeah, you do you. I don't even have nails on today. I am so just. Oh, thank you, Kelly. Thank you. And Michelle sang along with you. Thank you.
Very.
So, yeah. I mean, I managed this morning. I've managed to. I had a shower. Oh, I haven't finished taking. I've got to take my pills in a minute. I pulled together the graphics for the astrology. And I watched the occasional updates on Doofus Dumb Drumpf himself, walking in and out of the courtroom and apparently embarrassing himself mightily. I also found out that Whole Foods isn't carrying Chicago Diner cake anymore. I've been getting Chicago Diner mousse cake for my birthday for years, but Carol, thank you so much. Thank you. And Becca's here from House of Lenormand. Hello, Becca. Hello. So, yes, Sarah has a very nice singing voice.
Oh, thank you.
Sarah is also, I just want to throw this out there. Sarah is also smart as a whip. She reads faster than I will ever. She is an excellent writer. And she is a good person who you can trust with anything. I would hand over my credit card and anything else to her in a heartbeat. I would have not a moment of worry about it. You are absolutely trustworthy, and we have a boo-boo. The boo-boo.
It's a boo-boo.
Yes, it is. All right. So thank you. Thank you. All right. So let's look at this idiot.
Yes.
Let's start off by looking at the idiots.
All right. At 5 minutes, 40 seconds. We're going to start. There are many comments in the chat. Kathy asked if someone who is good at reading faces, please read Trump's today's hearing. Morgan had some questions about the court today, and you had all of this at one. Were these all supposed to be separate?
No, not necessarily. They're just much of a muchness. We can go through them as one or more.
So, the overall gist of these is he's up there, and he's having a no good, very bad day.
Yay! Matter of fact, have you all seen? I wanted to share this very quickly. I won't show the whole thing, but on MSNBC, I won't even run the video. But on MSNBC, they have this. Actually, let me mute this. And just look at his face. Oops, let me go back.
Him's a sad boy.
No, it's not going to be. There we go. Look at the misery. Oh, being held accountable for defrauding millions of people over the years and being a heinous human being. Oh, you.
No. So I guess first off, let's look at, how is he doing in court today? And I gotta say, it was so nice of Judge Ingerwan to give this to you for a birthday present. I know. This was like top tier.
Is this the first time he's, other than the other day when he was called up about the gag order?
Mm-hmm.
Is this the first time he's testified in the chair?
Mm-hmm.
I know.
All of his other stuff has been depositions in a room. This is like on the stand. This is it. This is.
Hello.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Sure, and I'm not going to repeat it, but it might be juvenile, but I think it's appropriate. Anyway, I'll just keep going. Thank you, Rainy HJ. Happy birthday from England. Oh, cute. All right, Nine of Wands. Oh, poor persecuted. Poor persecuted. Yoy. First card. We're loving it. We're McDonald's today. We are loving it.
Y'all.
Five of Swords adding insult to injury.
Mm-hmm.
Eight of Swords in the middle, feeling legally hemmed in, considering I believe Ingerwan at one point told Trump's lawyers, if you can, rein in your client.
Mm-hmm.
Next to the final card, which is Ace of Cups. So basically, we're loving it. He's getting put through the ringer. This is not only going to metaphorically hang him up, but then he's going to get rained on while he's hanging upside down. I mean, it's dull. Well, maybe. I don't know. Here's a crazy thought. Don't do crimes.
Yeah.
I know. Just years and years and years of crimes. And you know how all of these years, and I have been here since like June or July of 2018.
Mm-hmm.
I've had this channel. I've been here a minute. And all those years, and I've been telling people, don't say, oh, would you like under the blankie? I've been saying, don't talk about violence. I don't want to hear it. I don't even want jokes about it. I don't want him to come to physical harm. I don't want any of his family to come to physical harm. I do not accept jokes in my chat about sexual assault in prisons. That's not acceptable. That's not even a joke. That isn't even funny. I've been so clear about all I want is justice.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, after all this time, if it seemed like I am just sitting here gloating, if I am just bathing in the Schadenfreude, just doing snow angels in the Schadenfreude, this is why. Because this is what I've been waiting for all these years, is this jerk in a court of law with actual evidence. He has legal representation. It is truly fair. It is truly justice. And he is getting his rear end handed to him. And we have been waiting for this for years. So if anyone's listening now and they're like, oh man, because I feel like I'm being negative, but I cannot stand him. He is cruel. He has been found guilty of assault. He destroyed children's lives, all of this other stuff. So I am here for him getting justice. Yes, Mary Saunders.
Felony around and find out. Yeah,
exactly. Mary Saunders celebrating justice served. And Tam 322 says, finally, yes.
It's not just served. It's on a warmed plate with like a garnish with like sprigs of, whatever. Rosemary garnish. Yeah, parsley and rosemary. Yeah.
Or little dabs of ketchup all around.
Yes. Yeah.
Kathy PR, I agree. I mean, we've had moments we were afraid this day would never come.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, we're gonna look at 1245. There we go. There are a couple of questions here from Morgan and Mymanx about is he going to get up there and perjure himself? Like, is he going to get in trouble for getting on in that chair and lying?
Yes. Christine says, preach. Honestly, I've been, from what little I've been hearing, it hasn't been coherent. It's been a little bit here, a little bit there, but it's what's actually being reported from inside the courtroom. And what it sounds like, the impression I have at the moment, at least with my limited knowledge, is that he is making himself out to be utterly untrustworthy. Because that's a real key point of this entire case is is Grift Senior and the Griftlings, are they unworthy of being executives in the state of New York, or should they be banned for years and have Griftco taken, basically dismantled with all of its ill-gotten gains? And he is up there just lying about, I mean, I want to say that he was asked, do you believe that Mar-a-Lago was worth $1 billion? And he said, $1 billion or $1.5 billion.
He's so...
Okay, so who was it? There was, I think it might have been one of the late night comedians. What's the name of that gargantuan building in the Middle East? Tallest building?
Oh, the one in Dubai. I know which one you're talking about, but I can't think of the name of it. The big...
Yeah, my brain's being really unhelpful because right now it's just saying... my brain's saying it's called Wiz Khalifa. And it's like, no. No. I'm sorry. That's what my
The
like,
building
no.
is not Amber Rose's baby daddy. No.
I know. I know. But that's what my brain's like, oh, you mean that? No, that's not the word.
Burj Khalifa is what Christina's saying.
Thank you. Burj
Burj
Khalifa. I'm sorry. My memory. I'm struggling.
No, you're good. This is hysterical. I needed this today. I needed this giggle.
All right. So anyway, so Trump is saying that Mar-a-Lago, which is limited, you cannot. It is not a private residence, and you cannot knock it down and build something else there.
Right.
Doesn't matter what that property is worth. You cannot knock it down. You cannot make it more valuable. Right? He's saying that Mar-a-Lago is worth more than that building in Dubai.
Pardon?
That is what he's saying.
Man. Okay. So is yeah, are there going to be some issues with
Perjury? Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good.
I need to focus.
And James, I've added your question to the end. I'm not sure if we'll get to it today, but it'll roll over to tomorrow if not. Oh, thank you, lucky girl.
Lucky girl, thank you. Money to start a petition to get Chicago Diner moose cake back in Whole Foods. Thank you. I'm in Chicago. You'd think I'd be able to order it if I was willing to pay enough money or something. No, I've looked on the apps. I've looked in Instacart. I've looked. Anyway, and it's way far away from here, so I can't even just like go there or get food delivered. But anyway, will Trump? Okay, card for the reading is chaos. He is all over the place, and reality, what's that? Oh, thank you, Michelle. Birthdays are nature's way of telling you to eat more cake. I like that.
Nature is wise.
Nature is wise. All right. The evidence is the evidence.
Mm-hmm.
It just, and we're watching this. We're getting bits and pieces, but we're watching this. And he honestly thinks that somehow, because the universe has saved his bacon so many times for so long, this is the Mar-a-Lago card. For me, he honestly thinks this is going to go. It's just the universe. It's going to work out in his favor.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No, it's really not. Actually, let me hang on. Anna said he requested to use part of his testimony for rallies. Recording it in court, the judge said this is not a rally. Are you kidding me?
Well, that ties into what we were going to ask next, but I'll let you finish what you're pulling right now.
I was just throwing 3 cards because it was, he thinks he's going to get away with this. No, the card for the ring is judgment. It's all come to light. Oh, Miss Sheila the quilter, thank you. Thank you. Fran, thank you. This is the dynasty. All the secrets. There's no higher wisdom here. This is all the secrets come to light. Just land it out. Because that's the other thing. If Letitia James actually dismantles Griftco, all of his hidden investors are going to be revealed. All those LLCs, many of them have silent investors.
Ragging.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then the next question at 1950 is, Trump wants his testimony released for rallies. He's mean mugged the court and the cameras. He interrupts. Will this grandstanding get him in more trouble? we've already looked at the perjury, but just getting up there and acting a donkey, like,
it's not how it's done. This is the card of nostalgia, like how things used to be.
mm-hmm.
And for people who want to take us back into time, I realize that wealthy white men used to get away with murder, sometimes literally. But even then, there was a certain amount of decorum you had to have in public.
Mm-hmm.
So none of this works. How much money is actually in the bags? Because let's say the Wheel of Fortune is turning, and here we have legal decisions or a legal decision. So how far you want this to turn? I am actually quite floored that I know I shouldn't be, but that the Trumps who have testified are all up there. They're fighting for their ability to continue running a business, and every single one of them is just falling all over themselves to look incompetent. Thank you, Roxana. Thank you.
Yes, Jerry, I'm a little behind on sending thank yous out, but I have gotten things. You all are fabulous. Thank you. You have warmed my little heart, and my kids are ecstatic. So, like, oh, we have cookies. Like, yes, but you also have trail mix and cookies. Eat some vegetables. So, sorry.
Thank you for everybody. No, everybody. Thank you for helping out, Sarah.
Yes. You are a blessing. All of you are.
My wish list is actually I've really moved it into the kitty one, so it's my stuff and stuff for the kitties, and I need to get rid of the other one. We'll get there. Anyway.
All right. Well, then next, excuse me, at 22:30.
Thank you.
Beatrice says, "Happy birthday." Does Trump actually believe he will win the presidency again? Like, is he that? Yes, is he that delusional to think that he's ever going to end up legally on Pennsylvania Avenue again in residence?
Norman Vincent Peale, isn't that his name? Power of positivity or whatever, thinking positive kind of stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Did he? Fred and Donald were big advocates of that, and I want to say that Norman did Norman Vincent Peale officiate his wedding to Marla? There was something weird there.
I did not know that.
That's what I heard. It could be total nonsense, but thank you, Arthur Volpe. So and really that's what he's done. This whole, if I just say what I want over and over and over and over and over and over, then that's what happens. Well, part of it is that's what happens because he's a bully.
Mm-hmm.
And you wear people down to the point where they're just like, it's not worth it. Just whatever, take your stupid thing, just get out of my life.
Mm-hmm.
Presidency, huh? 3 of Cups, after what Republicans have done to women's rights. After Trump himself was interviewed by Chris Matthews, I believe it was, and said that women should go to prison. 8 of Cups, Queen of Pentacles, got a Death card in the middle, King of Pentacles, and the 3 of Swords. It's not literal.
Yeah.
Well, actually, part of it might be. But we know he's not an unknown quantity. It isn't like in 2016 where people were lulled into a false.
Well, he might not be that bad. He's saying what he thinks, but he'll act right when he gets to.
Right. Those are the same people who are like, I'm going to split my ticket. I'm going to vote for Democrats and Republicans because then they'll have to compromise. No, that isn't how it works.
Yeah, they don't do that.
I'm going to do a third-party candidate because, I don't know, it's just, I'm not feeling it. I'm sorry, you want to feel the loss of your rights? Anyway.
I did that the first election I could vote in. I voted for Nader instead of Gore. Y'all can shoot me later. So
I would never shoot you.
I know. But
and
my state went to Bush anyway. But, you know.
Well. We were all young once.
Oh, I learned. I learned very quickly. Yes. The words dimple Chad still make me twitch. So, yes, I learned my lesson with the quickness. Yes. So.
I love that. Hang on in the chat. Thank you, Honey Appleton. What a good name. Oh, Dawn Foster Langford. Thank you. Thank you. Up here, Phyllis Rowan said one of the MSNBC commentators said that Trump's testimony swings from "we know everything" to "don't ask me, we don't know anything." Yeah, but oh, thank you, Robin. Thank you. So we know who he is, and we know what he's after, which is his own enrichment. And he is the downfall of the Republican Party. Pluto just dug its way through Capricorn and dug him up and showed what a slime bag he is. What a big ball of slime he is up in the sunlight. So we can deal with it and get rid of it.
Mm-hmm. And
then we have a 3 of Swords here. What I get here is it's almost like, does he believe it isn't even here? It almost feels like he's just so not going to have the opportunity.
Yeah.
Because right now he's just trying to save himself from, he just wants to get in there and get his revenge. And believe me, he wants revenge.
Oh, yeah.
Do not think, oh, it would be bad. No, it would be awful. But the thing is he'd have to get people in the government to follow him. And that's a whole different issue. So I'm just having another quick look. He just thinks he's important. Right now, they're going after me for my money. This is legally hemmed in. This is the dynasty. So he's ranting and raving, far right communication, ranting and raving, but I'm the star. And 9 of Pentacles, and I'll get them. Yeah, you keep thinking that. Because I'm sitting pretty. We're getting near the end of the Angoran trial, by the way. The ruling by Angoran, which he's already ruled against Griftco, and the Griftlings, Griftco, Grifter, and the Griftlings. He's already ruled against them. Mm-hmm. And there are 5 more counts. And then there's a matter of how bad the penalties are going to be. So for all this talk that Trump's going to, but then he's going to appeal, he's going to drag on for years. I don't think it's going to drag on quite as long as you think. It's not going to be done in 6 months. But thank you, Carrie. Thank you. Thank you.
Y'all are so awesome. At 29:25.
Thank you, Dee.
Glenn says, plus Deutsche Bank, Zurich Insurance, and Credit Suisse can sue Trump for damages and defrauding them. How's that gonna look? Oh, Cherry Berry, you're very sweet.
Thank you, Cherry Berry. Thank you. So
once we have a ruling that he did defraud people, will these other companies sue him?
Well, they're supposed to. I mean,
Yes.
most of these are publicly traded. You're supposed to be protecting the shareholders from, so if there was massive fraud, you're supposed to go get that. You're supposed to go get that back if you can. Thank you, Seattle. Electrostorm says, look out. Lawyer Haba is angry at Letitia James. It's hilarious, this press conference.
Oh.
I'm looking forward to seeing it later. Queen of Wands, they supported him. They supported Trump.
Mm-hmm.
And frankly, how Deutsche Bank is still an entity in existence is beyond me. How much criming do you need to do? How many crimes do you need to commit? How much laundering do you need to do before the international whoever banking, even just the banking people, are like, you are done?
Yeah.
So anyway, Five of Wands, Hanged Man, Three of Swords, Two of Wands, card down, Hierophant. Well, that would be the government's falling down on the job.
Yeah.
The institutions at the end. I think there might be an issue of what is left to get. This is rancor, Trump metaphorically hung up by his heels, legal pain right through the heart, which is having Griftco taken away from him. I mean, his name is on the company. This is the communication he put out there, which was total garbage. And then we have institutions. But once this is done, what is there to get?
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, Melania, you better walk now. You might get more once Barron turns 18, but whatever you can get now, take it.
Man, she better be stuffing stuff under the floorboards or something at this point.
Apparently, it's a trust, but why would that trust not be a part of?
Yeah, that's
ill-gotten gains. Cherry Bomb gifted 5 memberships to random people in the chat. Thank you.
oh, y'all are so awesome to each other.
Ooh, apparent Pat Lyle is saying Lawyer Haba is bigly mad. She was holding her lips in such a way it looked like she had a white mustache. There's a lot of anger. Aww.
Bless.
Or as you say,
bless her heart.
Bless her heart.
Bless her little heart. And 3325, Maggie asks a good question. Speaking of the griftlings, we keep talking about Trump losing all of his properties. My question is, what about his children? Will Eric or Don Jr. also lose their properties, get fined, and or jailed?
Junior or Eric? Sniffy Jr., who's already, let's just say, losing money. And then, what's his name? So forgettable in every way. Page of Cups. This is us walking by. Yeah. All right, Sniffy Jr. Fool. Page of Swords. It's pretty weak. 6 of Pentacles is the card of charity. And we know it's not him being in charge of a charity because he's actually banned in the state.
Can't do that. Yes.
I mean, he could in other cities, I guess, or states, but this is not going to go well for him. Eric, King of Cups, Queen of Cups. 10 of Swords.
CC Ryder says the boy's new forwarding address will be on Rikers Island.
Yeah, they're coming for Eric. And it's going to hurt.
Well, he
Yeah,
let himself be the fall guy.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So
exactly.
Yeah. I think it is that eventually he's going to have to tell his children why grandpa's crimes are more important than him being there for them.
Mm-hmm.
Ouch.
And why the going along with everything his grandfather did was more important than being an honest, decent person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Then again, you can pretty much tell from the videos. I mean, you know me. I don't have kids, so I don't like insulting any
kids need an insane amount of therapy. That is insane.
I recognize cruelty when I see it. Oh my gosh, thank you. Thank you, Juniper's Tarot and Astrology. Thank you. And Carrie F, thank you.
Oh, thank you. You're very, very sweet. I'm going to cry.
Thank you.
Cherry Bob says, but Eric poured the concrete.
Yes.
Oh, Lordy help.
Who was it who suggested, in the sidewalks in front of some buildings because they couldn't get any more contractors to work?
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you. Be grateful. Do you want to do one more and then we'll talk about the astrology?
Sure.
Is there?
Let's look. For doing one more, CC Ryder dropped some good stuff right before we went on. So let me read through this real quick. Okay. So in this, CC Ryder got this from Daily Beast. The New York Attorney General apparently was going to hit Trump with racketeering charges at one point. This was going to go the route of Georgia. Tish James was going to file criminal charges against Trump, but it was stymied by then-Governor Andrew Cuomo's administration. Internal AG docs sent to the DA's office last week included a memo circulated in the AG's office from back in 2020 that outlined exactly how to go for the jugular by indicting Trump for essentially running a mob.
CC Ryder says no, not going the route of Georgia. Also, I thought that this is by the way, I'm not saying anything negative towards you. I thought that Letitia James she could only bring civil charges. That she had that there were others who had to do criminal charges.
Right, and it goes on. It goes on to talk about that. Basically, she would have had to have worked hand in hand because this technically would have been Bragg's judgment. But in order for her to do anything criminal, she would have to have gotten the governor's permission and to get his taxes and everything else. And Cuomo said no, to leave it be. So the question regarding that, I guess, would be, why did Cuomo do that? If that's something that you want to look into, or
3 cards. If I sound annoyed, it's not at you or anyone in the chat.
Yeah, the DA has clear jurisdiction over local crimes, while the AG would need special permission from the governor. But here's a key part of the mystery that hasn't been told until now. Pairing up with the DA was a backup plan. AG's office planned to seize the billionaire's tax information were stonewalled by Cuomo's office. By mid-2020, Letitia James's office was developing a full-on criminal case against Trump. Unable to act, they paired up with the DA's office. James reassigned 2 state investigators who got deputized as assistant DAs. So
thank you. Be grateful. Thank you.
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Why did he do it? Entertainment only YouTube. Just ran the collective energy for what it's worth.
Mm.
He did it. There's the evidence. There's refusing to accept the evidence, adding insult to injury, and laughing all the way to the bank. That's what the cards are saying.
Well, will a follow-up to that at 40:30 is will Bragg go forward with this? Will Bragg decide once he's done with the Stormy Daniels stuff?
When does that trial start?
I am not sure.
Does anybody know? We're off the top of their heads. Okay, so Bragg, are you going to go forward? King of Pentacles, Knight of Wands, Four of Cups, Queen of Cups, Ace of Wands. There's not a lot here.
Okay.
Electra Storm says it was supposed to start in March, but it got pushed back because of the DC case. There's just not much here.
Okay.
There's the refusal. And Trump keeps on trumping. That's even the card for the reading is just, it's even weak on Trump's side. It's just weak. Buried down, farther down, I've got an Emperor card, but it's way down. So.
Okay. Well.
Thank you, John.
There we go. And now it is time for some astrology.
Yes. CC Ryder says this is what Jen Lynn was talking about last night with Johnny and Becca. Oh, that's right. I did not get a chance to see that yet. So I'm looking forward to it. All right. So I did just want to just go over this. I know some of you you're not big on astrology, but I wanted to show you what knowing some basic astrology, what you can show you, how it can help you. So let me share screen. Thank you, Ken. Okay, so oops, the wheel on my mouse goes a little funny sometimes. Sorry about that. All right, so here we are, and let me put this together. That with this and this group move. All right. Now, on your birthday, obviously, this is on your birthday this is the sun down here. Let's see, ungroup this. That's the sun. That's the sun in your chart. That's the sun in the sky. And on your birthday, they are in the same place. Sun comes back around and from here to here. So when you have when you have your solar return, that's what it looks like. And whatever aspects you have in your chart to your sun, like your chart, like in my chart, my sun actually squares my midheaven. It will set that off usually. So it isn't the strongest thing, but right now, but that is what happens every year. And that's why, since your sun is your sense of self, that's why on your birthday every year, it's all about me. Well, it's all about you on your birthday because the sun in the sky is on top of the sun in your chart. So it's all self. And here, everybody's going to celebrate me. That's where that comes from. Is this, can you hear me? Am I making any sense?
You are. Sorry, I was moving some stuff around. I didn't want to clickety clack in on.
Oh no, you're good.
So
you're good. All right, so That's what happens on your birthday. And right now, like I normally, as many of you know, normally on my birthday, well, first of all, on Halloween, I always do the biggest thing I can manage. And yes, Felicia, the sun is shining on you. So Halloween's a big deal for me, but and also there's a chance I have my Halloween costume for next year. I have an idea, and it's a secret. I get so excited. Anyway. So, but normally, even on my birthday, I'll have like lots of people in, and I'll do the thing, and maybe I'll even make up like a game we can play, or I'll make it a big production. But this year, I'm tired, and I'm just I've got a herniated disc, and I'm just well, when you want to do something, that's your Mars. You want to take action. You're gonna go, you're gonna fight the battle, you're gonna do the thing. And I've got Saturn, which is the big wet blanket. It's got those beautiful rings, all meticulously crafted to be a beautiful thing. But it takes a lot of meticulous work to do that. A lot of persnickety, audited work to do that with no mistakes allowed. That's Saturn energy. It's father time. It's the auditor. It's, and anyway, I've got Saturn in the sky right on top of my Mars. So this birthday, this Saturn is just I'm trying to do stuff, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go, and it's like, no, you're not. No, but I want to do the thing. Why would you do that? Do you have a plan? Is it good enough? Have you thought this through? I just want to do.
Yes, spontaneity with Saturn is not. They're not besties. No, you need to have a very detailed itinerary. Yeah.
Very, very much so. So. Also in my chart, in my actual chart, I have this great big T-square. And I've got this whole group of planets in blue on the right here is directly across from Saturn in my chart on my ascendant, descendant, and and those are squaring this Mars. Now, this is one of those things where there were a couple of things I wanted to talk about today briefly about astrology. And one of them is, I know this is helpful because I have learned over time that anyone who will put if their chart has positive aspects to my Mars, I like being around them. It feels like a weight's being lifted off of me. Pressure is being lifted off of me. Because all the energy passing back and forth across the seesaw of an opposition, and over on the right, those are 3 planets crammed together. So I've got 4 planets in that opposition, and all that energy is dumping out through that Mars. If somebody has something positive, like they've got something down here at the beginning of Scorpio, so there's like a lovely trine, or the beginning of Cancer. I just like being around them. And sometimes for the good, sometimes to my detriment, because the rest of the stuff is not so great. But I've learned to recognize that it's like, oh, that's why I want to give that person a pass. That's why I feel comfortable. Because there's a pressure in my own chart that they are helping with. But for right now, I've got a big wet blanket on my Mars. And Saturn also rules your skeletal structure, any kind of fencing, limits, your skeleton, structural parts of your body. And right now, I have a herniated disc for the first time in my life. It's getting better, and it's going to go on for several months, and that's how long it's going to take for Saturn to transit forward and back over that point. I also know that in 2052, it's going to do it again. Saturn will be right back up there again. And it's like, all right, I'll make a note. So in 2052, I know to be careful about that. So there are all these things that happen in your chart. And unless you're talking about like the super outer planets that move too slowly, there are things that will repeat. There's energy that will repeat. So now I know to keep an eye out for that. So, all right. So this is what's in the sky right now. And, I've got Jupiter over here squaring my mid. It's not a big deal. The only other thing that's really worth noting is this, Pluto. Pluto, as we know, hits a sign, hits something, whatever it hits, it just starts plowing through it. And if the roots aren't deep and strong and solid, it'll knock it over. And it's trying to do a good thing because it's trying to plow the field so that new growth can come. And old, rotten stuff can be, knocked over and in the sunlight and dealt with. And when Pluto, which also Pluto rules plutonium, and it's Pluto has incredibly powerful energy. Think of plutonium. It can warm an entire city, many mugs of cocoa and kitty toes, or it can explode and flatten that area and make it uninhabitable for 10,000 years. Scorpios are ruled by Pluto, and I always say that is the choice that Scorpios make every day. What are you going to do with the situation in your life? Well, let's see. When I was born, my Pluto was all the way down here. And as time moved on, it just zipped along. And now it's way up here. Now, on its way, when it hit my sun here, and when it hit my descendant here, which set off this entire T-square, in both instances, because we were moving a lot and there was a lot of change and there were opportunities, but also in many respects, it just burnt my life to the ground. And it doesn't necessarily do that. But when you've got conjunctions and especially squares, it can get a little hairy. But this time in my life, it's entering Aquarius. And the good news, move this out of the way. So hallelujah. And I'll get to the stuff with Sarah in just a minute. So I've got Pluto here, and it is coming up to be in a positive aspect.
We do like positivity.
Oh, certainly when it comes to Pluto. So it's blue. So not only is Pluto coming up to be in a positive aspect of this whole stellium here, but it's also going to be in a positive aspect to the other side here. Because every wedge is 30 degrees. 3, 6, 9, that would be a square, 120. This is called a trine. And then this way, 30, 60, it's called a sextile. And they are positive. They are easier. They are helpful. So, hallelujah. And now that so this to when I was born, 3, 6, 9, 120. So it is trine both Saturn here and Pluto I was born with there. So in this area here, I should have some luck. In theory, I should have some positive energy. I'm really looking forward to it. This is awesome. In 10 years, when Pluto goes over my midheaven, which squares my sun, I might shut my company down for a year because it's also on my North Node, which is kind of what you're here to do, your whole kind of reason for being on the planet, what you're supposed to do while you're here. And in 2030, Pluto will be here. And that's going to be, your midheaven is your status and your work and your career. And also part of my life's plan is very focused on trying to build a business, trying to help as many people as possible. And then in 2040, Pluto will be here. And again, we go back to it's going to set off the entire T-square in 2040. And so both of those years, I'm trying to figure out what I will be able to do monetarily or otherwise, so that I can, what do I need to do? Do I need to shut my business in those two situations? Do I need to shut my business down? Do I need to, do I need extra insurance? I mean, I'm serious. Do I need extra insurance? Do I need different kinds of insurance for that year? Do I, what can I pay off ahead of time? Do I need to take extra care of my health or whatever it is? But I keep a very close eye on Pluto because that will help mitigate when it comes plowing through. And this is why there are a lot of people who don't use astrology. And I'm just like, you poor thing. So anyway, there's this thing called progressions. I will go through this very briefly. Now, this shouldn't work, but it does. Don't ask me how. But for some reason, I don't know if it's fractal. I don't know what it is, but the weirdest thing, the day you were born, if you move your chart forward one day for every year you're alive, you get what's called a progressed chart. It shouldn't work. It shouldn't. There's no reason. I mean, there's no logic, but for some reason, holy buckets, it does. And it's because to some parts of you, a big part of you is the same as the person that you were when you were born, but you've changed a lot as time goes on. And you get along with people better or worse or whatnot, and different things come into focus. Well, this is my progressed chart right now, which looks a whole lot different from the one I was born with. And it's got, I was showing you the sextile and the trine. Well, these have two of them. So you've got this giant rectangle with a whole bunch of oppositions. And this is the thing that I always find interesting. Every 30 years, okay, when I was born, let's put it this way. When I was born, my sun was down here in the middle of Scorpio.
Mm-hmm.
It was literally at 13 degrees 52 minutes of Scorpio. Hello dear. When I was, so that's 14, add 16. What happens if you add 16? You get 30?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So my progressed sun moved into Sagittarius. Sagittarius is a sign of travel. What's in the distance? What's over there? When I was 16, my father was transferred. That's when I moved to Holland. I moved outside of the country.
Okay.
And I went through this 30-year period here where I was overseas. Even when I came back to the States, I eventually ended up marrying an Englishman.
Mm-hmm.
And I was married to him for years and years and years. And so this whole foreign embrace of all things foreign, my progressed sun was going through Sagittarius.
Okay.
Well, then now my progressed sun is in Capricorn. Capricorn is the sign of career, status, working, the workaholics. If somebody is telling me they're a Capricorn, even my boyfriend in college was a Capricorn, and my gosh, was he a workaholic. And what do I do now? I have spent the last 6-7 years working really hard. And the last 3.5 years, I've been coming on here every single day. Every day. I have not had a break. And I don't want to break.
You know, one day,
Yes.
not today, but one day we need to look. I wonder if Pluto plowed through Britney Spears' chart in 2007.
Could be. That would be interesting. See, I love stuff like that because I feel like I learn.
Yeah. Thank
Yeah.
you, Marby.
Thank you. I can't see the chat right now, but thank you.
Yes.
So I'm in this whole Capricorn energy thing, and I will be for another, let's see. The sun looks like it's around 7 degrees. Well, so for the next 13 years, it looks like I will be really focused on work. So, and that will put me at 65. And then my sun will go into Aquarius. My progressed sun will go into Aquarius, and which is a humanitarian sign. I hope in the next 13 years I'm able to set things up so I can do more charity work. I don't know. We'll see. But I want my focus once you get, when you're born at a certain point in a sign, and then so I had heavy Scorpio energy for the first 16 years of my life. I remember even as a kid, I saw what a doctor wrote on some. I just went in for whatever kid thing I had wrong with me, and he said, "She is a very intense young woman," or "She's a very intense child." It's the Scorpio. But then you get these 30-year blocks where your focus kind of shifts. So I did want to point that out. All right. And then we get into Sarah and I. And the thing about that, and this is again this is the thing to know, because people are like permanent transits. If somebody has an aspect, if something like Sarah's sun is right on my midheaven, it's like I've got that, like I would go through that normally once a year, the sun, and I'd be focused on my career and working, and it would shine a light on that and warm it, but give it energy and draw attention to it, and then it would move on in a few days. But with Miss Sarah around me, it's permanent. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. So basically, I just show up daily and give jazz hands of work awesomeness.
Yes. Yes. And I'll show you later where it's even in our combined chart. But the two of the main things when you put Sarah and my chart over each other, I'm in blue on the inner circle, Sarah's in red on the outer circle. And the key things are this, right at my midheaven, where my north node is also. So what I'm here to do in life is Sarah every day is shining a light on that. And that's one of the things that Sarah and I have friends. We talk about silly stuff. We send each other memes and what have you. But most of what you and I talk about is work. Okay, what are we doing? What's the plan? Let's set some goals. Let's do the thing. And we both seem, I enjoy it. You seem to enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
And even though this is on your south node, so our nodes are reversed, they're opposite each other, but they're pretty exact. But really, it's that sun on my midheaven that is very important. And also, and I always thought this was fun. Also, ding, my Mars is almost to the minute conjunct with your Mercury.
Oh, okay.
So when I take action, there's your communication. We've joked for years that I have, over the years, it's weird, I have had this uncanny ability to know when to contact Sarah. If I was going to phone her,
is boop.
I have that with no one else. But with Sarah, it's like, no, I shouldn't call. I'll do something else. Okay, I should call now. And then I'll call, and she's like, I just finished the thing right this minute. What? And that's because when I take action, her communication is right there.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I hopefully, I don't want to, make too much of myself here, but I try to push Sarah in her communication, and have really been encouraging Sarah to write because she's so good at it.
Thank you.
But yeah, that's always been a big thing of, she's shining a light on me. I'm trying to get her to communicate. And so we always have that, and it's very comfortable. Yes, our Mercuries are square, but it's kind of well, even Marjorie Orr says not all squares are bad. Sometimes it's the grit that forms the pearl. And I think we actually communicate pretty well. Probably some of that has to do with the Mars conjunction, but some of it is probably also getting each other to talk. Because we're kind of a safe space for each other.
Yes.
And so sometimes you don't want to drag up the negative stuff.
CC Ryder says, Sarah, can you see the chat? How did you and Autumn meet? Must have been destiny and timing. It was not quite as kids, but we actually met on Facebook. So we had some similar interests, and those line up, and we just kept seeing each other pop up. And so it was, there you go.
And I was like, Sarah is awesome. I really like talking to her. We should be friends. And Sarah, being an Aquarius, was like,
Like, I have my bubble. I don't know if I need to blow my bubble to expand it a little more for anybody else, or if I'm just okay. And I was like, okay, she's pretty cool. So we'll let her in the bubble.
Okay.
So,
well, thank you. It took a while, though.
a little bit. Well, the thing is that I'm also bubbly outwardly. Like, I have a good customer service persona. Like, I'm very, and I tell you, I like y'all. Y'all are my people. I don't like other people. But being Aquarian and being Southern, I still talk to all people. That is sometimes to my detriment, but that's okay. So, yes. But this is pretty darn cool, if I say so myself.
You are very cool.
Well, thank you.
The only other thing I was going to point out, I mean, there are a couple of interesting things here. Sarah has this wonderful Saturn-Jupiter conjunction, Jupiter-Saturn conjunction. You're supposed to say them in order of their order the planets outward from the sun when you talk about the different planets. That's just a thing I'm throwing out there, just trivia. So it's a Jupiter-Saturn conjunction. It's right on top of my point of fortune, and that's it's a mathematical point. It has to do with where your sun, your moon, and your rising sign are and it kind of works out and da-da-da-da. And there you've got this point of fortune, and things that happen there will tend to be more fortuitous for you.
Is that the thing that we talked about? Like everybody's sort of born in my little, and the Jupiter thing.
Well, this happens about every 20 years.
Yeah. But
yeah.
So go ahead.
No. That's yes. You've got this great, and people who have those Jupiter Saturn conjunctions, they're very good at knowing when to hit the gas and when to hit the brakes, like, which means you can go faster, which means you can cover more ground. It's like being a race car driver. You're really good at knowing,
right?
And you trust the brakes and you trust the accelerator more. So you've got this perfect thing. So this is why that whole group of, well, not the whole group, but a lot of the Marvel superheroes in the first iterations, they had that conjunction. Your Tom Hiddleston's, your Chris Evans, your, all those guys.
Yeah, because if you look like the 60s, 70s, and 80s, while we were all growing up, right? The it people were all like 20s or so. MTV had a rule that they wouldn't play anybody over age 30. Like if anybody in the band was over 30, they'd stop playing the videos. I mean, like everything had to be young and hip and da-da-da-da. And then like after the 90s, the group that came out then, like they seemed to last longer. So, and they still have influence over pop culture, like Kim Kardashian, Hiddleston, whatnot. Like they were all well into their 30s when the Marvel and everything hit. And so it's just that people born in that little clickety click. So, yeah.
Yeah. And CC Ryder in the chat saying, I had to cut ties with one of my besties of 35 years because she became MAGA. I'm so sorry.
Mm-mm.
She wants to reconnect, but I don't right now. I wonder if this shows up in our charts. Probably. Because the next thing I was going to show you is what's called, sorry. It's this next thing, actually, I'm incorrect. I wanted to show you this, which is, because this up here was, I've got I'm in blue here. This is my chart. That's what I deal with all the time. Well, this reverses it. So when I came into Sarah's life, this is how I affected her.
Oh, cool.
So
there's more blue than red. I've learned enough to know that that's good.
Yes. But so when you're looking at a chart of you, and this is called a synastry chart. That's it. It sounds like a bad word, like sinister. No, it's just SYN. Synastry. It's just when you take two charts and you put them on top of each other like this, and you look at the angles between the different planets and stuff. And you can look at for a whole bunch of different people of, okay, this person's coming into my life. How are they affecting me? And they've got a different chart and then a different chart, but you're in the center and that stays the same. And these people are affecting you, and where their energy comes at you, it'll go into certain houses. It's a good way to look at it. This is just an easier way this is the same information, but this is more, okay, I've got, like Sarah can look at this and be like, okay, I know my chart. And my 10th house of career has my Mercury right there on the cusp. And boom, there's that Mars, which is powering that Mercury. And whenever I'm around, I'm powering your Mercury. Luckily, I think that's a good thing. So there's that. Now this is a composite. This is when you take those two charts and what they do, it's called a midpoint method, where they take the two charts and they literally do all the math. Thank heavens for computers. Thank you. We do not have to do this by hand anymore. But they take the two charts and they find the place geographically and in time between the two, because the two energies meld together.
Mm-hmm.
So this becomes a chart of our friendship. And as long as we are friends, this is it. And you will notice one of the key things here is Mars on the midheaven, which is, come on, we got work to do. Come on, what's the plan? What are we doing? Let's act. Let's take action. Let's do the thing. And it's also in a good aspect to the Sun and Venus, which is very kind. Usually when you get Sun and Venus stuff in any of charts, it's this lovely, loving, understanding kind of energy. And we've got that in our relationship where I think we're very, again, I don't want to overstep my bounds, but I know you have been so kind to me. So we have this kind of kindness in good aspect to, okay, what are we doing? So,
that's very cool.
And this sun is in Sagittarius and Venus, and you are married to a Welshman.
Mm-hmm.
So we each have that kind of draw. But anyway, and our moon is our friendship. The chart of our friendship has our moon at the beginning of Libra. So, which is also in the 5th house of creativity. And Libra is about beauty and balance. And
we like making pretty stuff. Yeah.
We have do the creative sprints together. We like making pretty stuff. We like being fair to people and encouraging people. So there is that. And then lastly, now this is pretty advanced stuff. But you also get a progressed composite. I know it sounds crazy, but it's just like the progressed chart from earlier, but it's a progression of the relationship because over time the relationship changes.
Right.
And sometimes you'll get along better, sometimes you'll get along worse. And right now, we've got a nice chunk of blue here. That's nice. Blue. Yeah. This is even Chiron, which is the wound. Chiron in any chart, it's the wound that will not heal. It makes you a healer, and it's something that you're sensitive about, but you learn to cope with it. You learn over time. Right. You learn to deal with it, and it makes you empathetic. But that's in a good aspect to our moon, and the moon is in a good aspect to Venus, and down here, we've got Uranus is on the North Node. So thinking outside the box. That's kind of what we do.
A little bit, yes.
A little bit. So anyway.
There's a lot of, have you tried blank?
Oh, yeah. Oh, and Sarah and I very much embrace technology. Let's try this. Let's try that. Have you been here? Have you done that? Yeah. So I wanted to go through that because it helps me better understand what's happening, why things are happening the way they are. It helps me better understand. It's like, rather than me thinking, oh my gosh, this herniated disc, what does this say? Does this mean it's going to be like, is it going to just get it worse and worse? Is it going to be forever? Is it going to be? And then I look at the chart and I see things like, no, 90% of herniated discs, they just heal on their own. You just have to have good posture for a few months and don't slouch and, keep walking and you'll be fine, and I can look at that Saturn and be like, yeah, see, it's going to be here for about that amount of time and then it'll move on, or I know with Sarah, I know that
she froze. It's a cute pose though.
I lost internet for a second.
Yeah, it was a cute pose though.
No, I was just going to say, but like, I also know that Sarah is an Aquarian. And so she has strengths that I don't. Like, I am really bad. It's hard for me to contact people on a good day.
Yeah.
And when it comes to phoning people, forget it. Yeah. I would rather go scrub out the toilet in the tub than phone somebody. And so sometimes I can go to Sarah and I can be like, can you help me? Or just dealing with people in general.
Yes.
Because Sarah's more social than I am.
Thank you, Phyllis Rowan. Everything went so fast earlier. If we didn't catch you, I'm sorry. Thank you, Phyllis. It's very sweet.
Thank you, Phyllis. Thank you. But then the last thing I'll say is it's just knowing somebody's, I try to find out if I'm going to be working with somebody or maybe dealing with somebody a lot. I really do try to find out their chart, because I can better know what makes them comfortable, maybe what some of their strengths are more likely to be. And I'm obviously, some people, everybody gets a chart, and some people use their powers for good and some people use it for evil, the evils. But I also know that, like, Sarah's moon is in Sagittarius, and her sun is in Aquarius, and those are great, but they are not water signs. I have my sun in Scorpio, my moon in Cancer, my Mars is in Pisces. There's a whole lot of water sign here. There's a whole lot of emotions down in the glug, swimming through the emotions kind of thing. And
emotional primordial soup. Yes.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, let's do that. My therapist loves me because it's like, oh, we're going to go deep. Okay, let's do it. And
I'm all like, feelings. Ew. Yeah.
Right. But
ew, who needs those? Yuckadoo.
Right. And I can know, I can just kind of embrace what I am and how I'm going to react to things, and know that Sarah's going to be different. And that is one of my favorite things about astrology. I'll leave it with this. My favorite things about astrology is it says everybody's different, and they're supposed to be.
Yes.
Everybody has different strengths and weaknesses. We're not supposed to, oh, you have to conform. Oh, you have to do that. No. What? Sorry. I was covering him up, and I think he thought I was playing or something.
Oh.
So suddenly this paw just came out of nowhere.
Mess with the beans, you get the beans. Yes.
Exactly. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. That it's helped me so much to be able to look at different charts and just kind of know who I'm dealing with, and be able to better traverse the terrain. So rather than trying to beat your head against a wall, trying to get something from somebody when it ain't happening. Yeah. So. Yes, Velma's mom. Sarah, no wonder you're so witty. You have that Sagittarius moon. Conjunct Neptune. Excellent writer. Excellent creator of romantic fiction.
Thank you.
Neptune moon. Right there. All right. So I hope that you all have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for your kindness, for being here.
Thank
for
you
all of your wonderful wishes and your
birthday.
Yeah, and your gifts and everything. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful you're here. And I'm just, it's like, all right, I know that, I tend to make kind of plans for the year or set New Year's resolutions. Sarah and I we've started moving more towards doing like quarterly, looking at each quarter, kind of what we want to do. I believe Hal Sparks, he talks about how he doesn't set his New Year's resolutions. He sets resolutions on his birthday. which is a way to do it.
Yeah.
And again, I'm kind of looking at it now as a little bit like, okay, now I'm at 52. What are we going to do for 52?
Very cool.
And we'll work that out and create lots of stuff and
Absolutely.
keeping on. And I will be back here tomorrow and the day after and the day after.
This afternoon, we're going to be on the creative sprints.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Although I'm hoping to get some cake or cupcakes delivered or something.
That would be fabulous. Yes.
Some dinner. But yeah. And that's the other creative sprints in the afternoon where we have a set time where we sit and let's get some work done. So
yes.
Thank you. All right. Hang in there. And from the bottom of my heart, thank you. You are not alone. The pumpkin. Yes. From the bottom of my heart. You are not alone. We are in this together. And there are good days ahead. There really are. All right. So take care. And I will see you here tomorrow. Bye. Thank you. Boop. Boop.